Hello, beautiful, amazing individuals that live on this beautiful living planet. Today, I would love to talk about emotional mastery and understanding. Emotions are not meant to be hidden. Emotions does not make us weak. Emotions are meant to be felt, understood, and mastered. Like a captain on a ship, I love to use that expression. A captain in the pouring rain in a storm, laughing in the face of the hurricane, and steering his ship accordingly in calm and masterful direction. And it is the same with emotions. Emotions are turbulent. Emotions are constantly moving and being affected by the outer, and especially if we allow it so. We can't help but always have an echo, a reflection, an effect on our emotions, on others and ourselves, because our thoughts are directly connected to our emotions and will, just like our emotion is connected to our thought and our will is connected to our thought and emotions. They are all three in combination with each other. And with our I, our ego, or our center, we have our thinking faculty, our feeling faculty, and our willing faculty. And through our intellect, through our thinking, free active thinking, we can build ourselves understandings of concepts. And by building concepts to our emotions, the emotions are no longer just dreams. They are no longer just feelings of comfort or displeasure or such. You have built yourself direct pictures and concepts to your emotions to be alive. If you have a glimpse or a small understanding of what I am saying here, it is much easier for me to explain. But it requires step-by-step practice, and by asking for guidance from the higher-ups, you will be, for me at least, this is for me, I get impulses to want to study or to want to go and watch this and to want to do this. And by doing so, I gain an understanding for what I was wondering about, even though I didn't necessarily know I was wondering about it. The clever person in me have a tendency to make me choose things that allows me to learn from them. And by having an emotional control, not numbing them, not tucking them away or trying to distract yourself away, but sitting in them and feel everything, because the emotions never last forever. They want to be acknowledged. They want you to acknowledge that they are part of you, that you are allowing them to occur within you, and that you are in a position to try to understand them. And when you try to understand them, they become much more cooperational. They become much more easier to heal because they want to be with you here. You show them the proper respect of yourself, the true love that you yourself need to master your emotions. We have forgotten ourselves. We have forgotten that we are a human being with our own experiences that we always share with the world and are affecting the world around us. And by having a certain feeling and consciousness and awareness to this, you can use it in your everyday life as something that is beautiful, as something that is uplifting, as something that you can feel the deep, strong, and intense, painful or uncomfortable feelings, and you can use your breath to calm and to use your circulatory system and to still be calm and observe, even though your whole body is on fire, more or less. And by doing so, you can over time be strong in it and not make as much mistakes in the moment, in the spur of the impulse. It is hard, and we can't master it in a whole lifetime. But isn't it worth trying? Isn't it worth mastering yourself to have an uplifting force on humanity? To learn to know humanity and its individual. To learn where groups of human beings that are standing for much of same perspectives are affecting one another in a bigger sense. They are kind of a group. The group is one big being in a way, and they lose themselves in it. But if you are strong, you can still be individually conscious in that group, and with your own strength and what you have gained through your own contemplation in life, you can share, you can give to the world. And you know, by always staying conscious of how you feel about how much work you do, how much you put out, how much you actually want to help and such, the divine balances out how much rest you need and how much work you need, and you will feel that you are working enough. And no one can challenge you on this, because you are sharing with the world. You do not just sit still and do willy-nilly. You do not become stagnant. You are always doing something that is helpful. Not for our own good, not learning just to feel superior, not learning to feel better than others so that we can look down. No, it is so we can lift up. So that everyone can feel that they are in mutual respect and feel that they have something to share. That they are just as valuable in their wisdom and in their points of life than anyone else. And mastery of emotions allows this life to become much more beautiful, much more morally and ethically inclined too, much more loving in the heart. But you have to temper the heart with discipline and your mind. You can't just splurt out, woo! Then things will quickly explode. At least if you let it go on and you save up that, and suddenly it explodes. That's why you don't hide feelings away. It is like, I never get a good example of it, but if you have a dusty ball that has been laying still up on some commode or something, and then you release it and it falls to the ground and you see all the dust, boom. That is what happens when you affect other human beings when they have been standing still for too long. It is highly uncomfortable. But when it's done, it is done. Then, but if they allow themselves to, they will prolong it. You see? I'm trying to speak in picture here. It is not very easy to describe these things just out of the blue or in purely scientific terms, because you don't get the impulse, you don't get necessarily the destiny in it, the karma in it, or the will in it. Because we can try and put as much connotations, as much theories, as much this and that and that's how it is, but unless you have it concretely living in your will, in your being, in your consciousness, in your feelings and thoughts, it is not truly a reality. It has to be reality in actions, in deeds, and in the way of life. And that is what life is for. Life is beautiful, life is amazing, but it has to be tempered. You can't just be an artist floating on a bed of roses constantly. You have to temper it with intellect, contemplation, discipline. And I like to use Saturn, the strict grandfather, as an example. You know he comes from love. You know he's infused in, he wants the best for you. The wise, strict grandfather. He comes from the heart, but is tempered by discipline. That is the perfect example. He is perfectly childlike and perfectly balanced in discipline and the old. And in the middle, they are fused to become something magnificently harmonious. And that is worth striving for, don't you think? Bless everyone. May the divine guide you and make you keep going on the path to further study and evolution. Love you all. Goodbye.